So I would feel terrified if I wasn't working like on back to back, which was great because I was young and productive and it was awesome.
Hollywood thrives on carefully crafted narratives, but sometimes the truth crashes through like a wrecking ball. For years, Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds were the epitome of amicable exes, their past marriage a distant memory marked by mutual respect. No one could have predicted the earthquake that was about to erupt, shattering this carefully constructed image and exposing a side of Ryan Reynolds few suspected existed. Scarlett's bombshell disclosure isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a Hollywood exposé that has sent shockwaves through the industry, hinting at manipulations and hidden agendas that stretch far beyond their personal history. What started as whispers has now become a roar, pulling back the curtain on a tangled web involving not just Scarlett and Ryan, but also Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni. Initially, the idea of Scarlett and Ryan locked in a public dispute seemed absurd. They were the picture of a mature past relationship. But Scarlett's sudden emergence, directly implicating Ryan in behind-the-scenes maneuvers, has forced everyone to reconsider everything they thought they knew. This isn't just about old flames and past grievances. It's a deep dive into alleged strategic plays that could redefine how we see these A-list stars.
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
The drama's backdrop? A film project helmed by Justin Baldoni, starring Blake Lively. By all accounts, it had potential. Blake, with her polished image, seemed like perfect casting. But behind the scenes, rumors began to swirl. Whispers of Blake's frustration with Justin's comprehensive creative control grew louder. On-set tension allegedly manifested in clipped remarks and veiled critiques, fueling the rumor mill. Then came the accusation. Blake claimed Justin was intentionally planting negative stories about her in the tabloids, a calculated move to sway public opinion against her. Hollywood, a town intimately familiar with strategic leaks, took notice. Initially, sympathy tilted towards Blake. Women in leading roles often face harsher scrutiny, after all. But just as quickly, the narrative twisted. Leaked messages, purportedly from Justin's team, painted a different picture entirely. These messages appeared to show Blake herself threatening to leverage her considerable influence, name-dropping her husband, Ryan Reynolds, to pressure the production. The messages suggested that if her creative demands weren't met, she'd unleash her star-studded network to force concessions on everything from editing to marketing. Suddenly, the tables had turned. Blake, once seemingly the victim, now appeared to be the one potentially wielding behind-the-scenes pressure. Ryan's role, at this point, remained hazy. Blake's messages mentioned him as part of her support system, her dragons. But publicly, Ryan remained his usual playful self online, seemingly detached from the unfolding drama. Fans speculated about his awareness, but his involvement remained a question mark.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
And tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
Then, the thunderbolt. Scarlett Johansson stepped into the light, armed not with hearsay, but with evidence. Her revelations landed like an explosion, redirecting the entire saga. According to Scarlett, she possessed text exchanges and digital correspondences that drew a direct, undeniable line from Ryan Reynolds to the very manipulations at the heart of Blake's conflict with Justin. These weren't secondhand whispers. Scarlett cited files with timestamps, direct quotes, and context, leaving little room for doubt about who was orchestrating what. This discovery instantly recast Ryan in a far more sinister light. The charming comedic actor was now implicated in a calculated campaign. Speculation ignited about how Scarlett obtained these files. Whispers of concerned insiders, disgruntled legal team members, and friends disturbed by Ryan's methods all surfaced. But Scarlett remained clear. This wasn't about personal vendettas or past resentments. It was, she insisted, about a moral obligation to expose a situation that threatened to stifle creative freedom. With Scarlett's revelations public, Justin Baldoni responded with a measured calm. He had already been hinting at inconsistencies in Blake's narrative, releasing fragments of messages that contradicted her portrayal of him. Now, with Scarlett's data, the picture became dramatically clearer. What was initially framed as a clash between a director and a lead star now looked more like a coordinated campaign. The evidence suggested Ryan was actively assisting Blake, guiding, even steering, the strategy to generate negative narratives around Justin. Hollywood was left reeling. Could the beloved, humorous Ryan Reynolds, known for his philanthropy, also be the Ryan Reynolds orchestrating behind-the-scenes maneuvering? Crew members and colleagues from the film began to speak up, sharing anecdotes. Ryan's unexpected on-set appearances, seemingly innocuous at the time, now took on a more strategic hue. Small creative debates, once dismissed, mysteriously morphed into gossip column fodder, painted as major conflicts. One production assistant even described a feeling of silent intimidation around Ryan's presence, though they couldn't pinpoint why at the time.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know, what is this? Because the script is definitely like a twisting, turning, intense thriller. Is it a comedy or a thriller? And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it a thriller?
It's a good mix
and
of
it's
both.
like, yeah, it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun and like, you know, kind of like my outfit, I guess.
Some of Blake's fans felt betrayed, suggesting that the star they'd admired had
The fallout for Blake Lively became increasingly pronounced. Her attorney, initially a staunch defender, abruptly ceased representation, issuing a public statement that questioned Blake's version of events. This lawyer, known for navigating Hollywood's trickiest legal waters, walked away, citing a fundamental clash with the evidence. It was a move that stunned even the most jaded industry veterans. Scarlett's disclosures had shifted the focus. No longer were people debating whether Blake felt overshadowed or if Justin created a toxic environment. The spotlight was now blazing on Ryan's role. The text messages revealed not just a casual interest in helping Blake, but active collaboration brainstorming angles, timing leaks, suggesting influential voices to tap. The couple's combined clout, often showcased through witty social media banter, now looked less like charm and more like a formidable weapon. This wasn't Ryan's first brush with controversy, but past minor issues, typically diffused with humor, paled in comparison to the gravity of Scarlett's findings. Her involvement lent undeniable credibility. While a former partner might be expected to keep her distance, Scarlett framed it as a moral imperative. She couldn't stand by while an artist's standing was potentially undermined by strategically engineered gossip and leaks. Justin, for his part, continued to advocate for fairness and truth. He expressed gratitude for Scarlett's courage, especially given their shared history with Ryan. His goal, he reiterated, wasn't to destroy anyone, but to reveal the unvarnished truth, allowing onlookers to understand the escalation and assign responsibility accordingly. He released annotated timelines, weaving Scarlett's documents with his own, creating a tapestry of evidence that seemed increasingly difficult to refute. Scarlett's reputation, her history of challenging unfair industry practices, amplified her credibility. Many believed that if she was willing to step forward with damaging evidence, it must be meticulously vetted. She risked legal battles, industry retaliation, but maintained that the principle outweighed personal cost. Silence, in the face of what she'd uncovered, was the greater transgression. Blake Lively, meanwhile, found herself in an increasingly precarious position. Early sympathizers who saw her as a victim of Justin's creative dominance now had to confront a starkly different narrative. Scarlett's trove of files painted a picture of Blake deeply involved in steering press narratives, reframing conflicts, and magnifying minor set disputes into alleged injustices. Some fans felt betrayed, questioning the authenticity of the star they admired. While some defended Blake, citing the industry's unequal playing field for women, others pointed to the lengths she allegedly went to in overriding creative decisions and punishing perceived slights.
We always tease each other. He was, you know, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, you know, if I lost you and I, you know, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. Like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list.
Oh.
I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like,
Tell me, and he's
think of
guessing.
someone, think of someone.
Right.
Bob Newhart, I don't know.
The central question now crystallized: what would be the long-term impact on Ryan Reynolds' career? The comedic persona, honed through countless films and social media quips, was now overshadowed by the chilling possibility of a behind-the-scenes manipulator. Production houses, once eager to collaborate, began to hesitate. Executives, wary of negative publicity, started to reconsider future projects. While Hollywood is known for comebacks, this controversy felt different, unusually serious. More insiders began to speak out, corroborating the emerging narrative. One claimed to have witnessed Ryan directly influencing the spin on a scheduling mishap, turning it into a narrative of Justin being careless. Another spoke of phone conversations where Ryan allegedly discussed leveraging media contacts to plant unflattering stories at opportune moments. The consistency of these accounts painted a pattern, confirming suspicions for some and shattering illusions for others. Scarlett, throughout, maintained a measured stance, avoiding sensationalism. Each statement was backed by evidence, allowing the public to trace the chain of events. She reiterated her goal: to protect artistic vision from manufactured controversy. She acknowledged the personal discomfort of reopening old wounds and inviting tabloid scrutiny, but insisted that the principle at stake transcended personal feelings. This approach effectively neutralized accusations of personal vendetta. The thoroughness of her disclosures suggested a genuine concern for a systemic problem: the potential for top-tier celebrities to leverage back channels to shape perceptions and negotiations. This revelation sparked a wave of reflection across the industry. Colleagues from past Ryan Reynolds productions began to recall curious incidents they had previously dismissed. A producer remembered odd spikes of negative gossip about a director after minor creative disagreements with Ryan, gossip that suspiciously vanished once Ryan's input was adopted. Anecdotal, yes, but these recollections stacked up, adding weight to Scarlett's claims. An unease settled over the entertainment community. If such manipulations were widespread, a reckoning might be due. As the public devoured every detail, the film at the center of the storm soldiered on. Justin, despite the turmoil, remained committed, praised by cast members for his leadership. Some even speculated the scandal might ironically boost the film's profile, though Justin seemed ambivalent about such sensationalized attention, reiterating his focus on creative integrity.
It's believing that people and humanity are inherently good. And they crave nutritious food in their soul, just as they do in their bodies.
Legal questions lingered. Would lawsuits follow? Defamation claims? So far, no formal legal battles had erupted, but attorneys on all sides remained vigilant. The stakes were immense. One misstep could unleash a torrent of further damaging headlines. Scarlett, after her initial statements, largely retreated from the public eye. Her message was clear. The evidence spoke for itself. She sought industry-wide awareness and reflection, not a prolonged spectacle. Privately, some in Hollywood expressed gratitude. Her actions, they suggested, might ignite crucial conversations about transparency and ethics in a world often shrouded in hidden deals and manufactured narratives. For Ryan Reynolds, the immediate future looked uncertain. Casting directors hesitated, producers worried about strategic turbulence. While a permanent exile was unlikely, a career downturn seemed almost inevitable. A candid apology, contradictory evidence, perhaps these could offer a path back. Blake Lively faced similar repercussions, her public persona now fractured, her cheerful image questioned. Industry figures, once silent about rumors of her strong on-set presence, felt emboldened to share stories of friction and exaggerated claims. The combined reputational fallout cast a long shadow. Justin Baldoni, however, amidst the storm, found an unexpected surge of support, lauded for his calm demeanor and commitment to truth. In a final statement, Scarlett clarified her motives, expressing hope that exposing Ryan's tactics would deter similar behavior in the future. She underscored the damage covert campaigns inflict on collaboration, respect, and the very essence of filmmaking. Her decision to step forward, she emphasized, was not taken lightly, understanding the personal risks. But silence, given the gravity of what she uncovered, was simply not an option. Commentators debated the lessons to be learned. New protocols, perhaps? A fleeting moment of reflection before the next scandal? Regardless, Scarlett's actions had undeniably shifted perceptions. The final question hung in the air. How would Ryan respond? Denial? Apology? Silence? None seemed particularly appealing given the weight of evidence. But irrespective of Ryan's next move, Scarlett Johansson's exposé stands as a landmark moment. By prioritizing honesty over personal comfort, by laying bare the mechanics of covert tactics, she has forced Hollywood to confront a complex mosaic of star power, hidden communications, and surprising alliances. And in this unfolding drama, Scarlett has emerged not as a vengeful ex, but as a decisive player, demanding real accountability in an industry often built on carefully curated illusions.